Welcome back to Me Personally Podcast. It's your host, Immanuel. I'm here with... And let's get right into the topic right here. NFL Combine just happened. And I know everybody wants to talk about Xavier Worthy running a 4.21, breaking the Combine record for a 40 time. Honestly, bro, I was really talking about this like a couple months ago. Like, man, I have not been hearing Xavier Worthy that much compared to him freshman year at Texas. Him with that, was it one hand Moss against No, I'm thinking about this. But I haven't heard him since freshman year. I'm like, man, maybe the Broncos can sneak around, get him in the second round. But now I think his draft stock went up. His draft stock went up with that 40 time. Probably might get selected in the first round, which is good. This is the reason why some people go to the Combine, because if you have some things to prove, if you look like you're going to be in the second round, third round, go to the Combine. You might get yourself boosted up in the first round, just how you do. The Combine is really here to help or hurt you, so. But let's go over the winners and losers of the Combine. Which, first of all, the biggest winner was Xavier Worthy running a 4.21. Boosted his draft stock. Teams are now probably talking about maybe getting him in the first round instead of the second round. So that's great for him. And then I'll say another winner. I say losers has to be the running backs, because as all the 40 times, like, let me look this up for the running backs 40 times. But all of them, like the wide receivers, like, which I will go on for them later, but trying to pull this up real quick. Sorry, I should have become more prepared. That's on me. Yeah, looking at all the fastest, I think was Trey Benson with 4.39. No, wait, sorry, Dylan Larb from New Hampshire. Oh, wrong person. Isaac Guerrero from Louisville, 4.33. And I'm pretty sure that's like the fastest one they had on running backs. Yeah, because Isaac Guerrero, all the running backs are losers besides Isaac Guerrero, Jalen Wright, and Trey Benson, which for people like Blake Corum and Will Shipley and Cody Schrader, like, they're going to get drafted because they like the film, like. But other running backs who ran a 4.7, a 4.5, a 4.5, a 4.6, it kind of hurt their draft stock a little bit, because compared to last year's running back class was strong, but this year it seems pretty top heavy. Like, I can see Jonathan Brooks, Missouri's running back, Cody Strasser, Missouri running back, Jonathan Brooks, Texas running back, the running back from North Carolina, is he in the draft? I'm not sure. I'm sorry, I'm guessing top of my head. And then Blake Corum too. So, and the three running backs I mentioned before, we had great 40 times. I can see them getting drafted high in the first, second, third, which I don't believe drafting running backs in the first round in the first place, but that's topic for another day. But that's why I said the biggest sorry, I need some sleep. Biggest losers are running backs. And then I'll say winners are definitely wide receivers. The wide receivers had a big day. Like a lot of wide receivers running sub 4.4. A lot. Like we had Xavier Worthy. We had Brian Thomas Jr. running a 4.3. Like, and then Keon Coleman. He didn't run a fast 40, but he did great in the ball catching combine part. Like, he ran the fastest and did the best in that drill too. Like, Keon Coleman, he looks like he's gonna be one of them ones. You know what I mean? One of them ones. So, but speaking about, Caleb Williams was not participating in the combine, but he did answer questions. And I don't honestly, him seeing these questions, he just seems a little bit too cocky. Like, he didn't give his like medical records to the teams and stuff. Like, I don't know. That seems like a red flag to me. it seems like a red flag. Not giving your medical records. Like, I didn't really care that he didn't participate in the combine. There's no reason for him to participate in the combine when he's already. Everybody knows he's going to be the number one pick. At worst, 2 or 3, like at worst, and that's like 0.0000000000001% chance that's happening. But I don't know, him not giving his combine, him acting so cocky and Jeff combine, like I don't know. I never really liked Caleb Williams. Maybe because I'm a little biased because he went to OU first and we beat him 37-33. Yep. 37-33. We ran him out of the state of Oklahoma. But besides that, like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of him in the first place, but he's talented. He's talented, but like he's talented. It depends. Like, hey, and the best place to see if he's really that guy, if he's going to the Bears has not have a quarterback throw over 4,000 passing yards. And the Packers, man, Jordan Love just did it. Like, Packers be breeding quarterbacks. That's the thing. That's the problem. But I'm trying to go through this quick. But James McCarthy, he looked good. Sorry. James McCarthy looked good in the combine, you know. He did good on his passes. Joe Milton, hey, I'm just saying. I was joking around, of course, by saying this, but like, if the Broncos, we just take some defense in the first round, and then take Xavier Worthy if he falls in the second round, take him in the second round, and then Joe Milton in the third, just because that arm, bro. Oh my gosh! Like, I heard that story about him throwing an orange like 100 yards. Like, bro has this insane arm, which I feel like if he gets drafted to the right team can develop him. Because the problem with Joe Milton, he has the arm, but when it comes to shorter routes or medium routes, he cannot be accurate with those. Oh man, someone's calling me. Give me a second. And we're back. Sorry about that. Nah. But let's move on to the next topic about the NFL cuts. So it's at that time of year where free agency is close around the corner, and some teams need to get rid of some money. And I say the biggest one in my opinion, was the whole entire Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills cut all-pro cornerback Tre'Davious White. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up this whole entire list so I can be right. So the Buffalo Bills cut all-pro cornerback Tre'Davious White, safety Jordan Poyer, center Mitch Morse, defensive back Cyril Neal, wide receiver Deontay Hardy, and running back Naheem Hines. And restructuring Von Miller's contract to save $8 million more. So with all those cuts, I think they got rid of $30 million, and they're still over the cap. So there's probably more cuts to come or trades. I can definitely now see a Stephon Diggs trade happening this offseason, or him getting cut too. Like only person I feel like is safe on that team is Josh Allen, which is going to try to work to restructure his contract too. So, sorry. And that's not the only team. Like, I feel bad for Bills fans because I feel like the window, like 2 years ago, the window was wide open. Now the window, it's not looking like windows. It's not looking windowing right now. Like, I feel like this next season is the last chance the Bills Super Bowl window is, which is not looking good. It's not really looking good. I feel like the Bills are about to go to not a rebuild season next year, but it looks like they're gonna be the Dolphins are gonna be winning that division for the next 2 years while the Bills are trying to figure themselves out. But like, as long as Josh Allen's there, they're gonna be competitive. So they're gonna be competitive, but they're not gonna be as good they were the past 3 seasons. Then making conference championship games, facing the Chiefs, losing to the Chiefs, or Bills. Not Bills or Bengals. So, but other teams that have made big cuts, Xavier Howard. Dolphins cut him, saving $18.5 million. Jamal Adams got cut from the Seattle Seahawks, saving $16.5 million. My Denver Broncos cut Justin Simmons. Moment of silence for Justin Simmons. He got drafted right after we won the Super Bowl, and after his 8th season as the Denver Broncos, we have not made the playoffs with him, so I feel absolutely bad. Like, this is not his fault. He always finds a way to intercept Patrick Mahomes. Like, besides Patrick Surtain and Von Miller, he was always the best player on defense for us, so us saving $14.5 million and still being over the cap. My namesake, Oklahoma State legend, not really my namesake because his name's spelled different, but Immanuel Ogbah got cut from the Miami Dolphins, saving them $13.7 million. Eddie Jackson got cut from the Bears, saving the Bears $12.5 million. Marquise Valdes-Scantling got cut from the Chiefs, saving them $12 million. Quandre Diggs got cut from the Seattle Seahawks, saving them $11 million. Darius Williams got cut from the Jacksonville Jaguars, saving them $11 million. We were talking about Tre'Davious White, them cutting him, saving them $10.2 million. Jerome Baker got cut from the Miami Dolphins, saving them $9.8 million. Offensive guard Cody Whitehair got cut from the Bears, saving them $9 million. Pittsburgh Steelers offensive tackle Chukwuka Okorafor got cut for saving them $8.7 million. Mitch Morse, like I said before, got cut $8.5 million for the Bills. Edge Shaquille Barrett got cut from Tampa Bay Buccaneers, saving them $8.1 million. And those were like the 15 biggest cuts that saved them money, which we also need to talk about how the Denver Broncos cut Russell Wilson, and us still owing him $85 million. But right now, as I speak, the Broncos are currently working on see if we can make a trade instead. We heard that he got visits from the Steelers, he got visits from the Giants. People talking about the Raiders. Like, honestly, anything that save us money. Like, I do not know how George Payton, however you pronounce his name, still has his job. Like, sorry, let me try and pull up his moves that he made. Sorry. See, these are some of the moves that George Payton made through his 3 seasons as a Denver Broncos. He gave Ronald Darby a 3-year, $30 million contract. He gave Kyle Fuller a 1-year, $9.5 million contract. Randy Gregory, 5 years, $70 million. DJ Jones, 3 years, $30 million. Zach Allen, 3 years, $45.7 million. Mike Glinchuri, 5 years, $87.5 million. And Ben Powers, 4 years, $51 million. Which, I understand with the O-line. I like the Zach Allen because Zach Allen has been playing really good for the Broncos. Same thing with Mike and Ben. Same thing with Mike. But the Randy Gregory, the Ronald Darby, the Kyle Fuller, the DJ Jones moves, a lot of money he was giving away. I don't see how he still has his job after the season. Like, the Kyle Fuller one, I remember that was a disaster. Luckily, we drafted Patrick Surtain that year, too, because if we did not have Patrick Surtain, and then let's not talk about him hiring Nathaniel Hackett, trying to get Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers ended up not having. We're stuck with Nathaniel Hackett being one of the worst head coach in all season long. Like the Sean Payton move, trading a first round pick for Sean Payton. Like Sean Payton is a great coach, but like, let's be honest. All these other teams, like if we're trying to actually truly rebuild, like the thing is, George Payton is in a win now mode when like we should have been rebuilding 8 seasons ago, but like everybody's been saying the same thing. Oh, we're only a quarterback away. When we finally get that quarterback, and then somehow our defense got worse, our offense got worse. Like now we're not that team that's only a quarterback away. Now we're like really. I don't know. I feel like George Payton pushed this franchise back even more. Like I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised if we make the playoffs within 5 years. We're not gonna make the playoffs within 5 years. It's going to be 13, 20 years later until we finally make the playoffs for the Broncos, because this man, George Payton, set this franchise back so much, bro. I don't know, it's tough being a Broncos fan. It really is, because your team, sometimes I feel like the Denver Broncos do not want to see me happy. They want to see me yelling at my screen, throwing my remote, throwing my controller across the room, like last year, I never screamed so much at the TV, especially when it was Thursday Night Football against the Chargers, when we prevented Justin Herbert from getting a first down since the second half of the game. Did not get a first down. Punt. Overtime, they punt the ball. How does 2 players on the same team run into each other, causing us losing the game? Like, bro, that's only way the Broncos, like my dad always say, losers will always find a way to lose. And if it wasn't for Peyton Manning, the Broncos will still be a losing organization, in my opinion. Because you think we were going to be winning with, what, Kyle Orton or Tim Tebow? Well, we drafted Brock Osweiler. We thought Brock Osweiler was going to be the future. Nope. We took Paxton Lynch over Dak Prescott. We decided to go with defense over taking Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. We had a chance to sign Kirk Cousins, but we decided that the Vikings' backup quarterback was a better option than Kirk Cousins. And then we trade for a 33-year-old Russell Wilson, who the Seahawks definitely knew that is like, if a players rely on his athleticism so much, like Russell Wilson, like we all knew like Russell Wilson wasn't really that guy in Seattle. He was carried more by his defense, in my opinion. Like he's still a great player, but like at 34-year-old, there's only certain players that can play at the age of 34 years old, and that's only Thomas Brady, okay? And not Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson does not have 7 Super Bowls. He only has the 1 from the Denver Broncos. I guess the Denver Broncos, but I don't know. George Payton really set this franchise back 5 years. We would not be seeing the playoffs. It's going to be 15 years until we see the playoffs. So I guess I'll see you guys, 5 years? So that'd be 2029. And I'll be like, 25 years old, turning 26, bro. This franchise. I hate this franchise. But let me stop rambling. And let's talk about rumors about Saquon Barkley going to the Philadelphia Eagles. No way this is going to actually happen. I don't understand why the Eagles would do this, because first off, he's going to be asking for a lot of money. You don't pay running backs a lot of money. And second off, is that really the issue with the Philadelphia Eagles? I feel like there's other things the Eagles can do to improve their team, like their defense, their play calling. It seems like there's other things the team can improve on that's not the running back position. They have a good running back group with DeAndre Swift, Kenneth Gainwell, and much, much more. And getting Saquon Barkley, paying him that much money, don't know. Like I see this before when a team decides to sign their division rivals running backs and then playing bad. Hey, the Broncos signed Jamal Charles from the Chiefs, and we signed Melvin Gordon from the Chargers, and look what happened to us. What? Let me look this up. Divisions, rivals, signing their rivals players. Let's see. Because it's definitely lists. Alright, there we go. And these are all just skill play. Well, not skill. Oh, of course, maybe like skill players. Running backs. What is it? Man, I can't remember the player. There was one running back from the Cowboys that went to the Eagles. That's who I'm thinking about. But like, I don't know. It's always a bad idea to sign your division rivals players, especially the running back position, because it never works out. Like, people are like, oh man, we finally got the guy that's been torching us for years and years and years from our division rival. Let's see how it does. It only works for a certain few teams. Like, even when Brett Favre went to the Vikings, it didn't work for the Vikings. Like, but when Darrelle Reeves went from the Jets to the Patriots, that did work. So, like, there's certain instances when signing your division rival star player works, but there's also instances like the Broncos signing Melvin Gordon or Jamal Charles, who are on their way out, thinking like, oh man, this is going to save the franchise. We got the guy who been torching us year after year, and now he's just a shell of his former self. That's why I don't think it's a smart idea for the Eagles, which they don't need to get a running back. That's not their biggest weakness right now. But hey, it's a Philly thing. Okay, I guess it's a Philly thing. But let's transition to NBA basketball. Okay. NBA basketball. Okay. So, sorry. Sorry for the pause. I'm probably going to cut this all out, but so right now in the Western Conference, the top 4 seeds are currently battling out because it's not even close between the 4th and 5th seed. The 4th and 5th seed, they're literally 3.5 games behind, while the 1st seed and the 4th seed are 3 games behind. But it's honestly, that's not the top 4 seeds. The top 3 seeds are currently battling out for the 1st seed right now. We got the Minnesota Timberwolves, who just lost Karl-Anthony Towns due to injury, 44 and 19. The Thunder are half a game behind with 43 wins and 19 losses. The Nuggets with 43 wins and 20 losses, a half a game behind the Thunder. They're all just neck to 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 each other. Like, I feel like it's either going to be the Thunder or the Nuggets who are going to end up with the 1st seed due to the Timberwolves losing Karl-Anthony Towns. But Anthony Edwards said that doesn't matter. You saw his game against the Pacers with the game-winning block, too. Like, bro, man, that man's staying. Like, amount of trash talk I do about the Thunder, it's just really competition-wise. I love to make that to a rivalry between the Thunder and Timberwolves, Thunder, Nuggets. Like, these small-market teams who are literally the top 3 seeds, it's good for basketball. It's great for basketball when a small-market team are playing so good, especially when the small-market teams are young. Like, it's boring when you see the Lakers and the Warriors all over again and again and again. When you see, like, and the thing is, they barely talk about the Thunder, Timberwolves, and Nuggets. Like we barely. I remember, like, they had to start adding the Thunder to national televised games, because like I remember beginning of the season they only had like 2 or 3 games for us, and now they're adding us to nationalized television because America needs to watch the Thunder. Come on, but I don't know, like it's compared to the last 2 years and all my other teams being bad. Shout out to Oklahoma State, shout out to Denver. It's good seeing when your team is finally winning. You know, giving the reason why you want to wake up in the morning, because the Thunder. That's crazy to say, but like that's how sports affects your mental health. You know, I can put a smile on my face because I know the Thunder are a top 3 seed in the Western Conference, and the Philadelphia 76ers aren't. They aren't in the top 3. But speaking about how close it is in the race, we also need to talk about how close it is in the bottom of the Western Conference between the 6th seed, 7th seed, actually between the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9, and 10. Right now, the Warriors and Lakers are both 9th and 10. They're basically tied right now, both 10 and a half games behind the first seed. And then they're a game and a half behind the Mavericks, who are the 8th seed with 35 and 28 record. And the Mavericks are a game and a half behind the Kings, who are 36 and 26. And the Kings are a half a game behind the Suns, who are 37 and 26. And the Suns are a half a game behind the Pelicans, who are 35 and 25. So like it's just looking like the Western Conference when back in 2010 when the Thunder made when the Thunder was the 8th seed with 50 wins. That's how close it was back in the days, and this is what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be a really competitive. You're gonna see. I got a feeling you're gonna see a lot of upset. My Thunder might get upset in the first round if we don't figure out this rebounding situation. If we play like if we play the Lakers, we're gonna lose. If we play the Mavericks, we're gonna lose. If we play the Warriors, we're sweeping the Warriors. But let's also talk about how the Celtics sweep their series against the Celtics. Like, bro, I was rooting for the Celtics. Why can't the Celtics do one thing right, like beat the Nuggets, but they can't beat the Warriors when they're up, and they can barely beat the Heat? This is the reason the Celtics are really the best team in the East. There's no reason they won't make the NBA Finals, but the only reason why they won't make the NBA Finals is 2 names. I mean, two words, one name, Jimmy Butler, right there. Jimmy Butler's gonna. I got a feeling Jimmy Butler's going to upset them again. But besides that, that's the only team they should be worried about. Maybe the Bucks, but the Bucks with Doc Rivers, they know they're not going to face the Bucks in the conference championship game. That's for sure. So, I guess that's all. Before we go, R.I.P. Akira Toriyama. Dragon Ball was my favorite show of all time. I watched that show all the time with my brother, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z Kai, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super. Like, all the memories I remember watching that show. And it sucks to hear him go along because, like, he has so much unfinished work to do. Like, bro, I need that season 2 of Dragon Ball Super. But, like, I saw this TikTok of them talking about how his first project with Dragon Ball was like a light-hearted adventure show, and now his last project's going to be a light-hearted adventure show with Dragon Ball Daimon when they turn everybody else back to kids. Hey, I'm definitely going to be watching that. I'm about to go home and watch some Dragon Ball while editing this podcast, but let me stash my socials. Not that Jack on Instagram, primetime.alpha on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. We're on the podcast everywhere, Spotify, Apple. Hopefully next week I won't be doing this by myself again. Hopefully we're going to have Jonathan back next week before I go off back to Philadelphia. And I might have a special podcast planned back in Pennsylvania. But hope you guys have a great day. God bless you. Happy International Women's Day, which is currently is right now, as I'm recording this on Friday. But hope you guys have a great day. God bless you. And we out.